Hello, and thank you for watching this ag forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We're checking out the satellite picture here first on Wednesday morning, and very amplified flow across North America. We get a glimpse of that here with this big area of low pressure across the Gulf of Alaska, south of the Aleutian Islands. We've got this big ridge here, kind of between this trough over here and then this other big wound up one that's kind of off screen here. It's an enormous trough, but again, pinched right in between that. We've got a little bit of ridging here, so getting some warmer temperatures into British Columbia and at times the western prairie. But then as you head east across the rest of the prairie, we're bringing in shots of cooler and drier air, especially across the west, but at times wringing out a little bit of light moisture across the east. So over the next 4 to 5 days, I think harvest operations, field operations, going to be a bit slow in the east, as again, we're not looking at a full disruptive weather system here, but maybe problematic, I guess would be the best word to describe conditions in the east as we head through the rest of the work week and then part of the weekend here. Temperatures broadly in the single digits across the prairie here. Patchy areas where they're a little warmer, getting up towards 10 degrees, maybe a low single digit across a low teen temperature there across southern Alberta. Then at times temperatures getting a little bit closer to the freezing mark. As we look at the radar here, maybe some light precipitation in the Winnipeg area, maybe some very light precipitation falling between Calgary and Medicine Hat this morning as well. We'll continue to see the chance for some very light precipitation across primarily the east today, across Manitoba, and that'll continue in through much of the next 3 days. And again, it's not heavy precipitation, it's just almost daily opportunities for this light nuisance precipitation that, accompanied with the cool temperatures, just really makes for a pretty unpleasant several-day period. So we're taking the high-resolution NAM model through the next few days here, and you can see, again, not looking at anything real significant, not looking at anything real focused, just persistent cloud cover in the east, persistent opportunities for a few raindrops in the east and some light drizzle, and then generally cooler temperatures across the east as well. We'll look at those temperatures here again, just looking at shots of cooler air coming in across the east. It's going to keep those temperatures on the downturn here below average as we head into the weekend, and a couple opportunities for some patchy sub-freezing temperatures as well. So we'll go through this here over time. We're looking at the temperatures this morning, the forecast again from the high-resolution NAM model into this afternoon. We'll see them falling back down this overnight with the chance for some patchy freezing temperatures, primarily kind of hugging the southern border of Alberta and Saskatchewan tonight. That'll pivot off to the east as we head into Friday night. Here are your Friday night lows. Patchy sub-freezing temperatures possible across southern Manitoba, and then maybe as you get into the higher elevations, that is not really a concern here in the ag belt. So again, southern border of Alberta and Saskatchewan, potentially looking at sub-freezing temperatures on Thursday morning, and then on Friday morning, it shifts off to the east. Look at temperatures then as we bottom out on Saturday morning here. Again, patchy sub-freezing temperatures, perhaps in a more widespread fashion with another shot of cooler air coming in here again. Still off to the east, southern border of Saskatchewan and Manitoba, off across northern portions of the U.S. here. So patchy sub-freezing temperatures across this area here as we get into Friday night and Saturday morning. Winds will continue to be blustery as we head through the rest of the day today into the overnight, again across the east. We're looking at winds gusting anywhere from 40 to maybe 55 kilometers per hour as we head through the morning hours today. Anywhere from 30 to 50 kilometers per hour by the time we get to the evening across southeastern Saskatchewan into southern Manitoba. And then as we head into the overnight, those winds will begin to subside with wind gusts generally below 30 kilometers per hour as we head into Thursday and Friday. Now again, here's the upper level pattern that I drew on the satellite picture. We've got strong flow coming around the base of a trough south of the Aleutian Islands, a ridge here across British Columbia, and then another big trough across the Great Lakes of the U.S. Cooler temperatures coming in on the base of this trough across the eastern part of the prairie. We've got warmer temperatures nosing into British Columbia and at times western Alberta with that ridge. We've got some reloading that's going to be happening here, or reshuffling as we head into the 10-day time frame that could allow us to see some changes. As we head through the rest of this week, though, into the weekend, as you can see, the pattern remains the same across the Canadian prairie. Ridging in the west, troughing in the east. That means warmer and drier in the west, cooler with potential for annoying light precipitation in the east. Now, I mentioned a reloading. I'm going to show you the flow at 500 millibars at the mid-levels of the jet stream. Again, here you can see the fast flow coming around the base here, ridge, and then another trough across the Great Lakes. We'll take this into the weekend. Here's Thursday. We're going to be watching several waves you can see just rotating around of the base of that trough. Here's a real powerful, compact wave doing that here as we get into Thursday. We'll take it into Friday. There comes another wave rounding the base there, and then over the top of that into the Prairie. And then here it is. Look at this jet come screaming in from the top left. This is another very powerful Pacific jet extension. That this one has the potential to kind of reshuffle things. So if I take it to the end of the 10-day forecast here as we get to October 10th and 9th, you see that jet racing across the Pacific and then blasting in across the Pacific Northwest, across Western Canada. That could lead to a change in the pattern here, maybe troughing in the west, ridging in the east. That could flip the script with the temperatures. That could flip the script with precipitation and start soaking a more widespread area. We're going to talk about the details on that as we get into it next week, though. I'm just kind of teasing that as a potential for where this may be headed as we get into the week 2 time frame. Until then, here's the pattern. Watching these little compact waves rotate around the base of this trough, up and over it, and then down into the Canadian Prairie, having much of their moisture wrung out by the Rockies. We'll take it all the way back to today through Wednesday. Here's the light moisture across the east, cooler temperatures coming in around the base of that trough. We'll take this into Thursday. Again, you can just watch these waves. Watch this one gets actually kind of rotated around up into Alaska and then back out toward the Aleutian Islands. Talking about right here, you can see it if I just kind of wiggle back and forth. Then you get another one that's coming in here. This one makes it right here. You see it rounding the base. That one comes up over the top of the ridge, and then you'll watch it right here come racing north of the Prairie then around the base of the next trough in the Great Lakes. That happens next Wednesday. And then here you see it. Here you see the big trough trying to make its way in with all of its moisture from the Pacific as we get way out to October 10th. So I spent a lot of time focusing on some detail here, but really if I just draw your attention back in to the Canadian Prairie here and then head through the next 4 to 5 days, it's just light nuisance precipitation in the east, nothing organized making its way down into the Prairie until at least the 7 to 10 day time frame. So as we compare side by side the European model, the GFS on the right, the European on the left, looks like we'll be almost entirely dry as you talk about southern portions of Alberta and much of southern Saskatchewan. As you head toward the east, portions of Manitoba, heading back into maybe central portions of Saskatchewan. This corridor right here on both models. Again, this is where we're going to be persistent with the cool temperatures. We're going to be persistent with the annoying frequent chances for light precipitation, but you see the total forecast here within those the bounds that I drew there, which I know go a little bit further north than the actual ag belt here, but we're talking about, between a few millimeters up to maybe 10 to 12 millimeters of precipitation in the highest spots. So that's the pattern in the east. I'm spending a lot of time on what's really a basic message here across southern Manitoba and at times southeastern Saskatchewan, eastern Saskatchewan. It's just going to be a bit annoying. It's going to be cool. We're going to have opportunities for some moisture. It's going to be tough to dry out. In the west, things are going to be much more favorable. Central and southern Alberta into southwestern Saskatchewan, largely going to be dry over the next week. You'll feel some of the warmth at times from the ridging across western Canada, so conditions much more favorable for harvest and early October operations in the west. So here's the forecast then. The normal temperature forecast I use here, the national blended model, is not working right now, not updating. So I'm showing you the European ensemble forecast, and that allows us to take it even a little bit further out into the 2-week time frame, which is kind of cool with the potential in the reshuffling of the pattern which shows up here. So Calgary, you're going to be on the warmer side here as we head into the October 4th and 5th time frame. Temperatures at times climbing back into the lower 20s. But if we're going to bring another jet extension here and bring in some troughing across Western Canada, that certainly would send us back into the mid-teens as we get into the October 7th and 14th time frame, cooling back off. So maybe enjoy the warmth right now across Alberta. Same thing here in Edmonton as we head through the week, the rest of the week into the weekend, because change may be on the way. Saskatoon, this could mean that the cool days here may be numbered as we head through the next 4 to 5 days. Temperatures in the upper single digits to the mid-teens, potentially warming back up as we head into the first weekend of October and beyond. Here's a look at Regina. Temperatures between 9 to 13 degrees as we head through the Saturday, warming back up as we head into next week. Same thing in Winnipeg then. Real cool. A chance for some sub-freezing temperatures as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. High temperatures generally in the upper single digits. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again, very cool, very chilly, very annoyingly damp across the east. But look at that potential light at the end of the tunnel. Silver lining, whatever you want to call it, as we get into October 5th, 6th, and 7th, and then beyond. Temperatures potentially warming back up to those highs in the mid to upper teens. That would certainly match up with a trough in the west and a ridge developing across the east. So something to watch, something to be hopeful for if you're trapped over there in the cool, cloudy, damp southern Manitoba. I'm going to let you go then. I spent a lot of time on some splicing some details on where we could be headed in the week 2 time frame. Of course, Eric Snodgrass will have a look at the next 1 to 2 weeks with our Thursday morning ag forecast video tomorrow. I'll be back to talk about the Canadian Prairie on Friday morning. I'm doing something new here. I want to include my contact information. I want to be a resource to you. If you have questions, comments, something you want me to talk about, something you would like to share, or have me be looking into, just contact me via email here, andrew.pritchard@nutrienagsolutions.com.